for me, you know, the Nelson Mandela's legacy is about a man who really sacrificed himself to fight for liberation of people. You know, like massively put his life on at risk to fight for the freedom of, you know, a nation that he loved, where he's from. And that's, you know, huge, huge, huge for me. You know, I'm just an actor, we're just actors, you know, but it really has opened up my mind as the power of what we can do with film, with being in the public eye. You know, you actually can make some super change, and, you know, he did that.
And did his wife as well.
Yeah, I mean, Winnie said something really interesting. She said, you know, it's we still live in a patriarchal society, and what that means is that often the men and their sacrifices and their journeys get remembered, but the women get forgotten. And she said there are so many women that lost their lives in the anti-apartheid struggle who have been completely forgotten. And what was really important for me is that I felt such an honor and a privilege to be able to portray Winnie's journey and to make sure that that isn't forgotten, because her contribution is huge. She is still a controversial figure, absolutely, and she polarizes opinion, absolutely, but she still made a huge contribution to that movement, and it's really important that we don't forget that.
It's important that we as a filmmaking troupe, a group of filmmakers, stayed honest and true to the story as much as we could, you know. I think the challenge for me was about how to map out such a long journey with one guy, you know what I mean? Like, you know, going from sort of like early 20s through his 40s to his 70s was a really tough thing to sort of figure out, and we had to really be careful about how he changed as he grew older, keeping it as truthful as possible.
Were there things about your characters that you didn't know that you learned along the way?
Yeah, you know, Nelson Mandela is very, very tidy. Super tidy. I mean, neat freak. And you wouldn't know it, and he had such beautiful handwriting. I know those are trivial things, but those are two things I didn't know.
I didn't know anything. I actually agreed to play this role thinking that Winnie Mandela was just Nelson Mandela's wife. And I actually, the reason why I wanted to be part of this movie was because I thought how amazing that a film about this amazing icon, Nelson Mandela, was going to be made. I had no idea that Winnie Mandela was so integral to the anti-apartheid movement, and that she was a political activist in her own right and had made such a huge contribution to South Africa. I didn't know any of that, so for me it was all a revelation.
Well, thank you everyone for watching Extra on YouTube.
And for updates on the latest celebrity news, subscribe to our channel here, like us on Facebook here, or follow us on Twitter here.
Yes, and if you want your voice heard, leave a comment below.
Where?
Below.